Hello my droplets and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw anime hair. Now for this tutorial I'm going to be using this brush pack, which I will be linking down in my description. It's free, you get it off DeviantArt, and they are Photoshop brushes. The brush that I'm going to be using is this Hard Round 19-1. Now for this tutorial you're going to want to start a new layer. And for this brush, we're going to turn up smoothing, just because it gives you that nice, smooth line. Alright, so for anime hair, what I like to do is just create a silhouette type base, like with your base color. I don't know, I have it blue. Let's change it to, let's go with the dark blue. So you're going to want to start your silhouette out with your darkest shade. And in this case, I'm going to be using this dark blue. Alright, so let's just get started. I'll start with maybe some bangs or something. Just kind of add them on in there. And it's okay if, like, these brush strokes aren't totally opaque. I will show you how to fill them in so that they are completely opaque later. Alright, I am going to create the back part of the hair, just kind of that's sneaking out from behind her head really fast. And I'm going to go through and just erase what is overlapping on her face. So now that we have our basic silhouette down, how you're going to completely fill this in so it's opaque is you are going to select it with the selection tool, and down here in this corner you have the switch option, so you're going to switch those two colors around, and then the keys that you're going to be pressing is Control backspace, and as you can see that filled in our hair so it's more opaque. I will do that to the bottom one now. Okay, let's just go over the top one more time. Perfect. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so now that you have your hair silhouette, and as you can see, it's just kind of like this rough sketch type thing. You're gonna go back in with your selection tool. And I know some people like using masking tools, but I really like using the selection tool. It's just easier. Alright, so we're going to go up to this brush pack. Oops. It's called Sakimi-chan. I will also be linking that down in the bio. Also free for anyone, it's Photoshop brush. We're going to be using Sakimi-chan's Soft Round 101 brush. I'm going to select that. Now switch those two colors back around. I'm going to go with a bit of a darker shade just to add a bit more shadow. And kind of go along the bottom. Turn that smoothing off really fast. Go along the bottom, anywhere where you would have, you know, shadow in your hair. Kind of there. I'm also kind of gonna give a rough outline of to where the darkest parts will be. And then you will also do that to this bottom layer. Alright, so back to the top layer. I am then going to go with a lighter shade, and when I'm selecting lighter shades, like doing highlights, I will go up in color, but I will also drag down, as you can see like on the scale, that this blue will be lighter than this blue. So whenever I'm doing highlights, I like to drag the color lighter, but also drag this shader down to the lighter colors. Alright, and then we are going to kind of fill in our highlight a little bit with that soft brush. Alright, next I am going to go with the hard brush. And with Sakimi-chan's hard brush, I like to turn the spacing down because as you can see, the original is kind of, you know, choppy. So I like to turn that spacing down just to make the brush smooth. Then we're going to go back, select our darkest color on the hair, and go through and just kind of give it those strands. Do that at the top as well. And it's okay if it's chunky, it's okay if you're like, well, this isn't really turning out how I wanted. Just trust the process. Right, next we're gonna select that second color right there. We're gonna kind of go through and add that lighter color back into the hair. I'm going to take that darker color again, and as you can see, like when you're naturally shading, there are going to be these dark spots and these lighter spots. We're just going to kind of emphasize the darker areas with the dark shade. Alright, then we're going to go back to that lightest color, and we are going to do the same thing, just kind of run through where the highlight would be with that blocky brush. Now that we have our base shadows everywhere, I like to go down to Sakimi-chan's, where'd it go? It's around here somewhere. I have so many brushes, guys, it's insane. Alright, so Sakimi-chan's hairbrush. Now, I like this brush because, you know, it kind of adds a few strands. It's kind of simple, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to take that darkest color, go through the dark areas, right, take that second color, just kind of run it through there a few times. Right, and that lightest color, just kind of add a few strands here and there. And then again, we'll go through with a hard brush. Again, you have to adjust that. Go through with a soft brush again, kind of soften this down below. Alright, so that's kind of what we have so far. Now I'm gonna go through and kind of clean up these edges just because they're a little messy. Okay, so now that we have those edges kind of cleaned up a little bit, I am going to go on this bottom layer, take that second shade, okay, and then just add a little bit of highlight right here. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so then I kind of like to add a little bit of, you know, a different color. So let's go with a bit of purple, kind of like a grayish purple. Take that soft brush, and on the ends, just kind of lightly add that glow. Now, if you're working with different colors, you could use different colors. I know this purple color works well with browns as well. So you can kind of do that. There's that, you know, kind of glow at the bottom there. Now, the final piece is going to be adding our highlight. Now, I know that there's several ways that you can do this. Let me show you. I know some people, let's turn that smoothing up, like to do like a line like that. Hold on, let me do it. A line. Now, usually when I'm doing a line, I like to create it on a separate layer, and I kind of like to play around with the blending modes. Usually I do overlay. Seems to work nice. Turn that opacity down a little bit, and then we're going to go choose that soft brush for our eraser. Just kind of erase a little bit. Now, there's that line technique. I know you could also do it with kind of like a squiggly line. That was not selected. Do it with a squiggly line. So like the top is straight, but the bottom isn't. I'll just take this and fill it in. And you know, same process. I like to play around with blending modes. Kind of adds that glow. If you weren't to play with the blending modes, you could just turn the opacity down quite a bit. No, erase it a little bit. Also, what some other artists do with the squiggly line is they add more lines as such. you know, kind of something like that. I don't know. The highlights are just kind of whatever you feel like would be best. It's just kind of your own little thing. There are many different ways to do it. Like I said, this hair tutorial kind of rushed a little bit. It's not my best work. This is how I would draw anime hair. I know that there's a million other tutorials, so you know, if my style isn't what kind of fits yours, I'm sure there are other tutorials that will fit yours, but this is kind of semi-realistic, you know, anime hair that I do. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye!